From KHOU TV Houston in the spirit of Texas, this is 11 News at 5.
President Clinton blasts away at Special Prosecutor Kenneth Starr for what he calls intolerable leaks in the investigation of allegations by a former White House intern. Also a deadly military jet accident in the Persian Gulf. 2 U.S. fighter jets have collided as they try to keep an eye on Saddam Hussein. Good evening, everybody. I'm Steve Smith.
I'm Marlene McClinton. President Clinton's attorneys say they will go to court to try and stop what they charge are leaks coming from the special prosecutor's office.
This latest information is coming out. It involves grand jury testimony given by the president's secretary, Betty Currie. We're going live now to our Washington bureau and correspondent Tom Ackerman for the latest. Tom.
Steve, both the White House and Betty Currie's lawyer call the report of her testimony untrue, and it's triggering a counteroffensive against what the White House calls leaks that are not only untrue, but illegal. Currie, one of the president's longest-serving aides, allegedly signed Lewinsky into the White House dozens of times after she'd been transferred to the Pentagon. According to the Times, the president summoned Currie hours after he had denied a sexual relationship with the ex-intern during his sworn deposition to Paula Jones's lawyers. The paper says Clinton then led Currie through his account. "I was never alone with her, right?" the president allegedly told Currie. But in her grand jury testimony last week, the secretary reportedly admitted the two had been left alone several times. The Times also reports that Currie retrieved several gifts the president gave Lewinsky, items she has now turned over to Special Prosecutor Kenneth Starr. At a joint news conference with visiting British Prime Minister Tony Blair this morning, the president again denied telling anyone to lie. And while refusing to explain further, he accused Starr of issuing false leaks.
I'm honoring the rules of the investigation. If someone else is leaking unlawfully out of the grand jury proceeding, that's a different story. I have told the American people what I think is essential for them to know about this, and what I believe they want to know. What I'm doing is going on with my work and cooperating with the investigation. And I do not believe I should answer specific questions. I don't think that's the right thing to do now.
In Little Rock, Starr said he was very concerned about the leak accusations.
If there was an act of unprofessional activity, I'm confident we will find it out.
Well, this afternoon, one of the president's lawyers, David Kendall, announced he is seeking court sanctions on Monday against Starr's office for those leaks. By the way, at that news conference, when he was asked at what point he might resign, the president answered never. The president also denied that in his Jones deposition he had admitted an affair with Jennifer Flowers. Reporting live from Washington, I'm Tom Ackerman. Back to you.
Well, the plot is definitely thickening. Thanks, Tom.
Things are becoming much more tense in the Persian Gulf. Training maneuvers in the Middle East have turned deadly. 2 Marine Corps jets collided over the Persian Gulf. The accident happened 80 miles east of Kuwait City. The 2 jets were headed toward southern Iraq on routine patrol when the accident happened. Both pilots were pulled from the water. One has died, the other listed in good condition. The Marines were flying FA-18 Hornets, like the one shown here. The single-seat jets were assigned to the aircraft carrier USS George Washington, which is patrolling the Persian Gulf. No word yet whether the military will attempt to recover those jets. And while military officials investigate that crash, the Pentagon is boosting U.S. military presence.